My name is Brad Page. My wife Kathy and I own Colorado Cider Company. We opened into 2010. Our first product went in the market April of 2011. We basically started with two ciders, a sort of off-dry or semi-sweet and dry cider, all juice. Our idea was there was a market out there and we wanted to make ciders that were not real sweet like most people thought of ciders in the country, which is sort of an odd American twist on what is typically a dry product in the rest of the world. So we opened with just a few tanks, very small, in bombers in 2011. And we've been in this space about a little over 6 years. We transitioned after a few years to 12-ounce bottles, but it was obvious that the market demanded, Colorado in particular, seems to like cans just because of outdoor activities, lighter. I also think it's a market that's very accepting that cans don't have any effect on the quality of the product. The beer obviously has shown that you can have very well-made beers in cans, and that's not a problem. I think when cans started out originally, there was a little bit of thought that it wasn't maybe quite as good, but people like Wild Goose and Ska have made things much easier. So we looked into doing it about 2 years ago. It took us a little while to kind of get our act together. We did mobile canning for a while, and the Ska depalletizer was pretty key to making it work for us, just because it eliminates at least one person on the line, and makes it much easier and I think more sanitary as well as faster, more efficient to have their depalletizer. I mean, we believe that cider will be a significant portion of the craft market. I mean, I always talk about in the UK, they're the biggest cider consumers in the world, and their market's about 15% equivalent of the beer market. So, you know, if that's let's say 1 million barrels of beer, 1 million gallons because we're wine, that's 150,000. It's a big number, and in the United States, we're probably only at maybe 2% now, and that's not spread across the board. So Denver's sort of and Colorado's sort of a second-tier market still in cider. There's no reason we can't be the same as Portland or Seattle, and it'd be a significant player. It'll never be beer, but it'll be something that's much more, it's consumed in bigger numbers than it is now. And we like to say it's not in place of beer, it's alongside beer. So a lot of beer drinkers, and particularly in the UK who consume most of it, they sort of drink it as part of their session. So a beer drinker will have a few beers and have a cider to sort of palate cleanse. There are people that drink cider exclusively, but it's just another choice amongst many choices. It's sort of like in the beer world, there's a big people that think IPA is the only style of beer. Well, that's just kind of crazy. You don't always feel like an IPA. There's a lot of other beer styles out there, and cider is just another choice. I think we would like to get to the point where we would need to buy some more equipment from them. I think what we bought initially will probably serve us for quite a while, but their customer service has been great. We have a lot of confidence in the equipment, and they've been very responsive to anything you need to do. We haven't really had any issues. I think for anybody that's looking into buying a depalletizer, has probably gone through the experience we went through. We used mobile canning for a while, and they were loading the cans on one at a time. We rented a machine, a Wild Goose from another brewery, and they had a fishtail, and they were loading the cans on that way. It absolutely makes no sense not to buy the depalletizer. It makes life so much easier, and you can concentrate on what's important, is that making sure your fills are right. And I think it, not only mechanically, but just from the overall product quality, I think it just takes something that is distracting otherwise and allows you to concentrate on having a good product. So I'd recommend it highly.